I'm Sarah Bangson, and I'm a senior here at the University of Minnesota Crookston in the Equine Management Program. Today, we're able to utilize the ARIA in our rider instructor training program to complete the video for the ARIA certification process. So I'm going to let our riders introduce themselves and the equine companion that they are on today.
Hi, I'm Kate Steffens. I'm an intermediate Western rider. Today I'm on Chico, AQHA, 20-year-old all-around builder. I'm Amy. I am a level 1. I'm a championship Western rider. And I have Sunny here. He is a 16-year-old AQHA all-around.
Perfect. All right, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be building off of lessons that we have been working on over the past couple of weeks. So we have been working on use of pairing our natural aids with our artificial aids, working on the 3 different lopes from a walk, jog, or 3 different gaits from a walk, jog to a lope. Then we're going to work on using our steering, and we're going to be doing a weaving with a stop, a back, and then again, transitioning gaits. So what I'm going to have you ladies do is I'm going to have you go here to my left, and I'm going to have you start with just a walk around the arena. When Amy gets to C, I'm going to have you start at the walk, just so that we have spacing in between you guys. As we're going through this, what we're going to, again, just continue to reinforce is being able to use our natural aid of our seat. We want to sit back, keep our heels down, and get them to stop at the letters along the wall, using as little of rein as we possibly can. So as you're coming up to C, Amy, I'm going to have you try to implement that using your seat, putting your heels down, the least amount of rein. Nice job. All right, if you want to come along too, Kate, great job. I'm going to have you do the same thing at letter B, Amy, and Kate at C. Nice job. And then every letter along the wall. So Amy, you're going to do the next one at F. Kate, you're going to do the next one at M. So as you progress, each time you use your natural aid, I want to see if you can use less amount of rein as you're getting them to stop. Great job. Nice soft transitioning, getting them to walk again. Nice stop, Kate. Nice job, Amy. Nice stop. Is it feeling good? Good. So when you get to E, I'm going to actually do a reverse for you, Amy, and I'm going to have you start going in the opposite direction. Kate, I'm going to have you, once you stop at A, I'm going to also have you do a reverse as well. So you're going to utilize your steering, put a little bit of pressure on towards the inside, outside leg. Nice reverse, Amy. Nice job, Kate. I'm going to go back along the arena wall. And then again, practice the stopping, opposite direction at every letter. Nice job. Nice job. You guys look like you're using a little bit of that rein, not much at all. So the least amount of pressure goes a long way. Nice job. When you guys get to your next letter, I'm going to have you ask your horse to pick up a jog. So you're going to do that with just a little bit of a cluck, and you're going to give a little bit of pressure equilaterally, so with both legs. Nice transition, Amy. Nice transition, Kate. Nice and soft. Good job. Maybe loosen the reins a little bit, Kate. Not too much. Nice body position, Amy. So you guys are doing an excellent job along this side of the arena wall, just because we have a lean-to on that side, and oftentimes our horses get a little spooked. So you guys are showing good management and control, both of your body positioning as well as in how you're guiding the horse. When you get to an A, Amy, at the end, and you at the C, I want you guys to ask for a lope. So give a smooch, a little bit more pressure on your legs. Nice transitions. Good job keeping your heels down. Nice job asking him to pick it back up, Amy. Good job keeping the pace, Kate. Oh, keep them going. Ask again. Nice job. All right, when you get to B, Amy, you can give a cluck. Ask him to go down to a trot. Nice job. Nice transition. Also to a B, I'm going to have you, Kate, transition down to a trot or a jog. Nice job. And then you can do a circle, Kate. Give a little bit of space for Amy. So I'm going to have you both practice the reverse again. So you're going to reverse, reins towards the inside, outside leg giving pressure. You can reverse now. You can go back along the rail. Nice job. Way to keep the pace, guys. So Kate, you can pick up a lope at the B, a little smooch. Nice transition. You can pick up a lope at C, Amy. A little bit of a smooch. Nice transition. All right, Kate, you can ask your horse to go down to a jog. And then Amy, when you get to E, you can go down to a jog too as well. How's it feeling? Does it feel good? Yep, great job. All right, I'm gonna have you guys go down here to the end of C. You guys can jog or walk, whatever you would prefer. And we're gonna continue to work on utilizing those skills in a pattern. So this is a pattern that we have been working on progressing over the last couple of weeks. I did add 2 white cones on the outside. So this week, what I want us to do is I want us to work on, once we go through the pattern, we come back down around the wall. I want us to try to formulate our circle as tight as we can around the cones. Does that make sense? So just kind of giving a guide. So when you're coming down along the rail, you're basically going to go on the outside of this white cone here. And then you're going to continue to circle just so that we're getting a little bit of formation to this white cone, back to that white cone, back to the rail. Any questions? Good? Okay, so I'm going to remind us again what our pattern is. This white cone here, so it serves multiple purposes, is going to be our starting point. What we're going to do is we're going to work through weaving down the line of orange cones. The 2 orange cones down there are a field goal. That's where we're going to do a stop. We want to hold it for a couple seconds, like 2 seconds. I want you to back for 3. Then you're going to walk out. Then you're going to jog around the corner. The white cones on the side rails are actually going to be your marker for transitioning gaits. So when you hit the white cone, what you're going to do is you're going to lope. So you're going to lope the straight arena wall. Once you get down to the white cone, you're gonna drop it down into a jog. You're gonna jog the circle, and then you're gonna break it down to a walk when you get back to the end of the arena. And I'll walk you through it. Is that fair? So when we go down first, what we're going to do is we're going to go down to our left side of the arena. So I'm gonna actually have Kate, I'm gonna have you come over here on this side so we are out of Amy's way. And Amy, I'm gonna have you start just because you're on that side. So you're gonna come up to the white cone, you're gonna take a stop. And then what you're gonna do is when you're ready, you're just going to have your horse move forward and then pick up a jog. Nice transition. Light rein use, just get nice gentle weave. Then you're gonna stop once you get into the cones. Hold it, back for 3. Stop. And then you're gonna ask him to walk on. Then you're gonna go to the left, so you're gonna go towards the bleachers or the arena seating, jog. Nice transition. And then when you get to the white cone, you're gonna pick up a lope. Nice transition, way to stay with them. Then you're gonna break it back down to a jog. Nice job. And then you're gonna come to your circle. So start at C, go around your white cones. So this is gonna help us work on our steering using our reins. If you need to get a little bit more bend, you can use your inside leg, but your outside leg, giving that pressure, is gonna ultimately give your horse the position of the direction around the cones in which you're going. So great job. Then when you get to a C, you can break it down to a walk. Nice job. How'd it feel? Good. All right, Kate, I'm gonna have you take the white cone up here and get yourself positioned. Then you're gonna pick up a jog. Light rein use. You want a nice gentle weave. Great job. And then you're gonna stop. Hold. Back for 3. Nice job. And then you're gonna walk out. When you hit the wall, you're gonna ask for a jog, and you're gonna jog around the bend of the arena to your left towards the bleachers. Great job. Then when you hit that white cone, you're gonna give a smooch and a little bit of pressure for a lope. Nice job. Start sitting down, give a cluck for a trot or a jog. Nice job. When you hit C, then you're gonna start your bend for your circle. Nice job keeping your eyes up, looking where you wanna go. So give a little bit more pressure and a little bit more application of the reins to make it a little bit tighter on that side. Break it down to a walk. Great job. How'd it feel? All right. So I'm going to give it up to you. Do you want to start and take us to the other side? We're going to come loping down this side of the arena, or do you want to go every other? All right. So Amy, I'm going to have you hop on that side of the arena just because Kate's going to be coming down over here. And then Kate, you can position yourself at the starting cone. So same pattern. I'm going to see if you guys can do it without me giving you a verbal prompt. Now see if you can use a little bit lighter leg and rein. Try to keep a tighter weave. Nice job. Great job. A nice stop and a nice back. Nice calm walking out of it. Pick up that jog. Nice job. Nice transition into a lope. Good job keeping your heels down too. Good transition back down into a jog. Keep going in the jog at the circle. Oh, that's all right. We have an added cone. Way to adapt. Nice job breaking it down to a walk. Good job. How'd it feel? No, not at all. We all have preferences, don't we? All right, Amy, if you want to take the cone. Nice gentle rein. See if you can pull it in a little tight on your weave. Nice stop. Nice back. Good transition on walking out. Pick up that jog. Nice job. Nice transition into a lope. So he's doing really good staying along the rail, especially since he was not preferring the rail by the lean-to. Nice transition down. And I think what we were talking about is we're adding the extra cone. So we're going to do the extra cone circle. And make it a little bit tighter over on this side. Nice job. Way to adapt your steering and giving it the right amount of leg pressure. Great job. All right, so I'm gonna have you guys run through the pattern one more time again. So Amy or Kate, I'm gonna have you start. Kate, once you get to A and you start jogging around, Amy, I'm gonna have you go. Does that make sense? So yep, you can start with the left, then you're gonna come back. So when Amy, as long as she is past point A, then what we're going to do is we're gonna go and then we're gonna come back down to the right. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to work on how you're monitoring the pace in each of the gates. And I want you guys to try to keep half an arena apart. Does that make sense? If necessary, it is okay to make an additional circle. So it's just one of those arena etiquettes. We want to make sure that we're just not getting too close to each other. So that is going to be our additional challenge this week. Fair? All right. So I'm going to have you take the cone, Kate. Same pattern, same transitions. We're just going to see if we can keep it moving like a well-oiled machine. So we're going to go left, down towards the bleachers, come back, and we're going to do one to the right. And then we're going to stop back here at the end. Nice weave. Nice stop. Nice back. Good transition. Nice job paying attention. Way to get started, Amy. Nice transition into a lope, Kate. Nice weave, Amy. Good transition back down to a jog, Kate. Nice stop, Amy. Now you're going to do your circle down here, Kate. Nice transition. Yep, you can ask him for a little bit more. Oh, you're going to go to the left. That's right. Good job catching that. And then you can go right on through, Kate. So this time, Kate, what I want you to do is I want you to try to get a good stop without the walking stop. So when you get there, I just want you to put that seat, the pressure down your seat. Better. Good job. Nice transition back down to a jog, Amy. And then you're going to go, and then you go off to the right after you do your backing. Then you come down here and do your circle. Nice circle, nice bend. Good job keeping his head on the inside so you can see his eye. Nice transition into a jog, Kate. Nice transition into a lope. And you can go on through. And so then you're going to come back down and you're going to go to the right. Nice circle, nice bend. Nice weave over there, Amy. And then Kate, you can stop after you walk them out a little bit. There you go. Nice walk out of the cones. Good transition, softly into the jog. Nice transition into that lope. Nice transition down. Nice bend. Nice formation of the circle too. Both you gals did great with that. And then you can walk them on out and bring them up here over by Kate. So what do you guys think of today's lesson? Good? What's one thing you think you improved on personally yourself in doing this exercise? Because you guys have thankfully been partaking in the lessons that I've been giving. So we've kind of transitioned and grown a little bit in each one. So what's one thing that you think you've done well this time?
Really controlling his speed throughout because he'd like to get faster, like as we went through it.
Yeah, you did a great job controlling the pace. Excellent.
I also think we got a nice, consistent pace going at all three gates. Like when we first started, he wanted to trot really fast, and I think I got him to like sit back and jog nicely, like he's supposed to.
Absolutely. Well, and that's one of the things with the last part of the exercise or the lesson was to really monitor that pace. So we still want to continue to transition in between gates. We still want to be able to be in control of that process, not let them get ahead of us. And then also demonstrates that arena etiquette. So you guys did an excellent job paying attention to each other, the horses in the arena, and you guys paced yourself out well or spaced yourself out well. What would be one thing that you would want to continue to improve on?
I want to continue improving on having more consistency in like the circles, because sometimes I kind of forget that he likes to like lean out more.
Okay, so you're talking about maybe like that pressure applied to get him on the path for the circle or the curve that you want? Absolutely. How about for you, Amy?
Getting him to sit back and like pick himself up before I ask for the load, because he likes to kind of just like throw himself into it, and I know he can do better. So like making him do it better.
Absolutely. So no wild riding, huh? Excellent. So I think that's really neat that you're able to identify that skill set that you want to improve on to help not only you in the riding capacity and the transition of gait, but also our equine companion being able to function optimally for their performance. So excellent. All right. Well, today that is our lesson. I appreciate you watching the video. And again, I appreciate my volunteer riders for today's lessons. And take care.